Matchweek 15 in the books. London is officially red as Arsenal beat Chelsea at the Bridge to stay top. City stay on track right behind Arsenal, but not without some drama as a last-minute penalty from my boy Erlings saves the day. Liverpool have a lifeline, and Emery is off and running at Villa. We'll cover everything that was from Matchweek 15, from Leeds, Palace, Brighton comebacks, to the last game for Mr. Hasenhudl. This is the Premiership Perusal podcast.
Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Back, Fuchs, and the ball in behind Damian Vardy! It's 11! It's heaven for Jamie Vardy!
You are an ostrich. Well, your head must be in the sand. Is your head in the sand? Are you flexible enough to get your head in the sand?
Now the fans are shouting every week, Louis van Gaal's army! Louis van Gaal's army!
Feet after a fabulous start, the game just got away from you there.
I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say about the game at all.
Drama from day one! This is the league we want to watch!
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I've been working on it. I'm not gonna act like I haven't.
He's been studying.
He kind of has because Stevie G has the aim.
Yep.
But Emery cuts off the R part of it and the I in there, and it's just aim. It's aim. Good evening.
Good evening. Okay.
Yes, good evening.
I like that. That's now your bit is you just pick up a random saying from a manager. Stevie G is out. Unai Emery is in.
Oh, we'll get to that. Hasenhudl's out. Nathan Jones in.
Lots going on this week in the Premier League.
A lot of off the field stuff.
Yeah.
Let's get to some on the field.
Yes.
Leeds, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Exciting game. Defense was optional.
Indeed it was. To the lineups: Leeds, Meslier, Cook, Cooper, Struijk, Christensen, Aronson, Mark Broca, Somerville, Harrison, Tyler Adams, and Rodrigo. For Bournemouth: Travers, Fredericks, Mepham, Smith, Senesi, Cook, Jeff Lerma, Tavernier, Billing, Solanke, and Kiefer Moore.
You're really going to have to apologize to Rodrigo here sooner or later, Sam.
Rodrigo, the pen merchant. He strikes early. 50 seconds in, Presenzio himself. Penalty.
How about that? Mr. Somerville. No summertime sadness for Somerville. We're just bits the whole time, just terrible ones.
Senesi.
That was rough.
Not covering himself in glory right off the bat for this match.
No.
Rodrigo steps up penalty, converts 1-0 within 3 minutes for Leeds. They're flying.
If our guy Gelhardt can't play, and it's because Somerville's just too good, then it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Same with, I guess they don't really have anyone in midfield. That's our guy. But Greenwood's kind of stepping in and establishing himself.
I'm a big fan of Greenwood. But Bournemouth, they said, not so fast. We got a goal in ourselves that we want to score. And Phil Billing, beautiful cross, falls to Tavernier.
Phil Bill.
Volleys it past Meslier.
Yeah, I mean, even before that, Leeds were still putting the pressure on and stuff. This was really kind of out of nothing. And just an absolute rip. Rip by Marcus Tavernier.
First chance of the game for Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm.
Draws it level. After that, Bournemouth had a little more action. Struijk clearing a chance off the line from a Bournemouth corner. And then Phil Billing hits a rocket that goes in.
Oh, my gosh. Long ball to Tavernier. He rips it. Gets the rebound. Lays it off. Phil Bill. Top of the box. Absolute blast. Top bins.
Phil Billing found his goal-scoring boots this season.
Told you he's going to be their most important guy coming in this year.
Yeah.
And he's established himself. I thought for a little bit, might have been Adam Smith because their defense was looking solid. It's all about Bournemouth's attack now, baby.
Phil Bill, Big Dom. I'm still waiting on the Phil Bill fan poster, Kill Bill style.
Yes.
That'd be amazing. Bournemouth had another chance on the counter, 2-on-1, but Meslier comes out to deal with it.
It was really
nicely.
2-0. It was just Meslier by himself almost practically, and
Yeah,
I can't believe Bournemouth really botched it.
that they did. A golden opportunity
Uh-huh.
to add a third within 26 minutes. After that, it was kind of back and forth. Lerma had an interesting moment just before halftime as he just completely decked Somerville.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Kiefer Moore had a chance too, and then he also got away with an elbow in the middle of the park.
That's true.
That was
Hey,
rough.
Hey, we didn't see it. We didn't see it.
You know what I noticed about this game was Jack Harrison was a lot more central this game, especially for Leeds when attacking.
Yeah.
He was really trying to get on the ball. It was like they're really proactive, trying to get him involved more, not just playing him up the wings and stuff. But
Yeah.
goes in halftime 2-1. Bournemouth come out for the second half. Leeds a little attacking pressure. Bournemouth say, how about a counterattack? Right on your head. Dominic Solanke is fed from Tavernier. A little back heel flick. Well, maybe not back heel flick. Just flick at the near post.
Yeah, a nice little cheeky flick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Makes it 3-1. You're thinking, well, they might have blown it last week. They won't blow it this week.
They couldn't possibly blow it again this week.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is not how it works because Leeds respond with an absolute banger. Your guy, Mr. Greenwood.
Sam Greenwood. It's in the name.
How about that?
Yeah. Us Sams, we're all equally
We're just
talented.
really pulling out all the puns for this pod. Makes it 2-3. But I mean, it was really all Leeds after that third
Yeah.
Bournemouth goal.
Yeah, Rodrigo had a chance.
Yeah, skied
Put
it.
over.
Just absolutely skied it.
Then a few minutes after that, Leeds get the equalizer from the corner. And it's Cooper
How about that?
rising up at the back post.
Yeah. How about that? He said, you know what, I might not be able to play much defense this game, but I can join the attack.
Sure did. Bournemouth had a rare chance.
Yeah, they almost got it again. Jack Stacey.
Jack Stacey coming on as a substitute, rolls his shot just barely wide. And that was a huge opportunity missed for Bournemouth as Leeds in the 84th minute take the lead on the counterattack. Great run and ball from Gnonto, the little man, to find Somerville, who is the man on fire, who puts it past Mark Travers. Bournemouth, 4-3, huge comeback, huge 3 points. Jesse
To Leeds.
Marsh lives on.
How about that? How about that? They're rolling. They're hot again. Leeds
You
marching
see,
on together.
you see why this is working for Leeds, because this is true Leeds chaotic style.
Absolutely. There's no other way to put it.
Bournemouth, another. Well, this time it wasn't just a draw. This time, a loss, dropping huge points.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost to Tottenham after having a 2-0 lead. And this game up 3-1.
Yeah,
Not able to hold on.
especially when you score 3 goals on the road and you don't win.
That's troublesome.
Brutal.
Troublesome, to say the least.
Some huge chances missed there for Bournemouth to pick up some points.
Yeah, they're really lacking a defensive presence in midfield at times, Bournemouth.
Yeah,
They don't really just have like a ball winner kind of guy.
and they
That
really
worries me.
they really just kind of got pushed back
Mm-hmm.
in the second half after they scored that third goal. There wasn't really much pressure being put on Leeds' defense at all.
No.
So pretty rough.
No, yeah. I mean, really good game for Tavernier. Probably his best game of the season by far,
Yeah.
to say the least. But not enough for Bournemouth. Moving on to a game with even more controversy.
This one just killed me, man. It's the hope that kills you.
City, Fulham, the other lineups: Ederson, Stones, Ake, Cancelo, Akanji, Gindogan, Rodri, De Bruyne, Julian Alvarez, Jackie, Gucci, Grealish, Bernardo Silva. For Fulham, Leno, Tete, Ream, Jop, Robinson, Reed, Wilson, Pereira, Willian, Paulinho, Vinicius. It still doesn't seem like he's the actual guy because of that Tottenham weird
very
spell.
strange.
Game starts off Man City dominating right away as they have Fulham pinned in. Goal line clearance on a Bernardo Silva attempt. The inside, I think, like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Man City doing a real good job of swinging crosses in and working the wing well, finding that space. It's when Man City's at their best. No Haaland in this one to start, so it's always going to be a bit tougher. You're going to have to really be pinpoint with your crosses and cut back passes to make sure you find your guys. But they do get a goal early on. Gundogan to Julian Alvarez.
Puts it
1-0.
past Leno.
It's 1-0. What can you say?
Yeah, I thought Leno maybe could have done it a little better, but tough one.
Yeah. City get another goal, except it's offside. John Stones.
Yeah, John Stones, offside goal there. Fulham have a chance to hit on the counter. Cancelo pushes Harry Wilson, and it's a penalty and a red card. Cancelo sent off. Huge moment. What are your thoughts on this decision?
Well, I called for a big João Cancelo this game. And he did something big, all right. He had a big no-no. You know, in terms of the foul, it wasn't really shoulder, kind of behind. Mm-hmm. But we saw this with in the Tottenham-Liverpool game as Alexander-Arnold on Sessegnon, where it's like he's running towards the goal. There's an arm extension.
Yeah.
One's called, one's not. I just want consistency. I would say it's called if you're fully extending arms.
Yeah, and I think the positioning in this one is a huge factor. The fact that Cancelo was just a little bit behind, I think
like
it
you
makes
said,
that
not
much
shoulder to shoulder. It's
that contact just that
gonna
much
be called.
worse. So City are just kind of shook after that red card. Pereira steps up and converts the pen to equalize. 28th minute. City, they were holding possession even after red card. Akanji had a chance just before halftime that he really should have done better.
Yeah, right at Leno.
Goes into halftime 1-1 as the rain pours down. Second half, City make some big subs. They bring on Haaland and Foden, 64th minute. And then Kevin De Bruyne has a chance, almost catches out Leno.
Mm-hmm. You know, I thought Fulham had the space, too, in this half to really exploit Man City. They just did not take advantage of it whatsoever.
They were afraid.
Yeah.
They didn't want to get caught out. They sat back a bit too much despite the man advantage. 74th minute, De Bruyne puts a great ball in the box for Haaland, who scores, but upon review, it is called offside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tough one for my boy Erlings. Yeah, and I mean, just even kind of recapping this for Fulham, too, Fulham side of things, I didn't even feel like they played that well. I just felt Man City were pretty incompetent for the most part in attack.
Yeah. Pretty lackluster.
To say the least. But then, at the death, out of nothing, Kevin De Bruyne, the slightest of clips, goes down, wins the penalty. Haaland steps up, Haaland slots. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of contact, there wasn't a whole lot, but it was just stupid from Robinson to even try and be making any sort of challenge in that situation.
Yep. His back's to goal.
Yeah.
He's turning, but I don't know.
And you could tell De Bruyne was just kind of looking for that there.
Yeah, smart play.
Yeah.
Smart player. Anthony Robinson, not a great defender.
Not a smart player.
Yeah, brutal.
Goes into challenges very rashly.
But what can you say about Erling Haaland? Steps up, slots the penalty. 2-1, takes home all 3 points.
Oh, City, I thought we were getting a little space at the top there.
Nope.
Nope.
Man City, they're going to remind you who is number one.
Yeah, and it should be mentioned that Pep again was wearing his jeans and hoodie.
Yeah, the 2004 core look.
Yeah, respect.
He turned to the camera at the end and give him the big fist pump. Though,
yeah,
woo!
yeah, a little excitement out of Pep.
Oh,
Moving on to the next match.
this game about gave me a heart attack, and then I realized that the bet didn't get in, so it didn't matter.
Forest versus Brentford. To the lineups for Forest: Henderson, Cook, Nico Williams, Aurier, McKenna, Gibbs-White, Kouyaté, Yates, Freuler, Johnson, and Emmanuel Dennis. For Brentford: Raya, Henry, Pinnock, me, Ruslev, Jensen, De Silva, Yenelt, Johan Wissa, and Bumo, and Keane, Lewis Potter. No Ivan Toney.
No Ivan Toney.
To the match.
Forest counterattack pretty solid. Brentford's midfield pretty shaky, I thought. Forest kind of, their defense caught out early, but Brentford really could not connect on any of the passing. I thought it was pretty poor.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a goal. Gibbs-White off the deflection. Solid little run. But this is what Nottingham Forest have to do. They got to strike quick if they're going to score goals.
Hey, you never score if you don't shoot.
It's honestly not that bad of a shot. Probably would have been saved if it didn't get deflected, but I mean, it was still at least on target and stuff. So
yeah, I thought Forest looked actually somewhat decent in attack this game for the first time, where they actually had some possession.
Yeah, I mean, part of it was Brentford, I think, was just like not. I mean, neither team really was, but I guess Forest was early on. Just utilizing the middle of the field. It was wide open.
Yes, it was.
It was just really long balls hoofed forward to Rico Henry from Brentford. And a lot of center backs passing back and forth.
Yeah, it seemed like Brentford didn't really know what to do without having Ivan Toney in there.
Yeah. With that said, they still manufacture 2 goals against Forest. That's how bad their defense is.
That's true.
But yeah, no, Forest passing link-up was great. Probably the best we've seen all season. Forest were a little bit of diving going on in the box.
Yes.
A little bit of diving by Emmanuel Dennis and
Yates.
Mr. Ryan Yates.
Yeah.
That was not good. I think now that Rashford has finally scored, we have a new guy who may never score again, and it's Brendan Johnson.
Okay, I like
Brendan
it.
Johnson may never score again.
He may never score.
Then dumb play by Nottingham Forest as Brentford are through. Wissa's through. The slightest bit of contact by Dean Henderson on Wissa, and it is, in fact, a penalty.
Yeah, the hand on the shin
Eh.
on the long ball up to Wissa, that was... I mean, to me, it
That's
really
the
doesn't seem like much.
That's the thinnest bit, but at the same time, it's kind of like that Pickford and Kane one.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if there's any contact, they're probably going to call it. I'm just glad that, I think it was Andre Mariner in this one, he didn't give a red. That would have been really harsh, even though it was 1-on-0.
Right.
Still.
Didn't they change that? Like for keepers, it's supposed to be a yellow.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you get a red card and a penalty. You got to sub on a keeper. Yeah.
And Mbuemo converts.
And Bumo.
He's been working with Ivan Toney. 1-1 going into half. Second half, Brentford start strong. And Forest defense kind of looked like games past. They look pretty shaky. But then Nottingham Forest recover, looked the better side for the next 10 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brentford hit on the long ball. Directly over the top, middle of the field. Wissa chip. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it was nearly identical to the play in the first half that won them the penalty. Just that long ball over the top to Wissa. And like you said, fantastic chip from Mr. Wissa. I don't know how he scores so early in the match, but
yes,
but he did it.
After that, kind of felt like Brentford were going to shut up shop and see it out. Awani subbed on, gets a headed chance, and just like I don't know what he was doing. He was heading it as if he was like on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's like heading it as high and hard as he possibly can, and he was like on the 6-yard box. I don't know what he's thinking.
You got to get that power.
Sam's guy, Godos, with a chance at the end. He was offside, but he shanked it horrendously anyways. That was pretty funny. And then the own goal to seal it, Zanka. After a nice save by Raya. And then the rebound goes off Zanka. And Ben Mee almost cleared it, but not quite.
Yeah, the scramble in the box, absolute madness.
Ends up 2-2. Very entertaining game.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't
Given
the highest quality, but
yeah. Given what you thought coming into this game, not necessarily the most exciting teams. Best attacking player on one side out.
yeah.
You're like, oh, this might be rough to watch. Not too bad.
Yeah, especially the form that Brentford's been in has not been very good. Not having their best attacker, that's a big miss. But they scored 2 goals. Overall, I thought Brentford didn't play very good for the most part.
Yeah, I'd say a draw is fair just because forced attack early on looked pretty solid.
Yeah, I think a draw is fair. I think a Brentford win would have been unfavorable.
Yeah, well, it could have and should have happened, but good thing I did not have any money on that game.
Yeah, I suppose there's some positives for Forest. They looked better than they have
Especially in attack.
in attack. Yeah,
Grabbing something when there could have potentially been nothing there for you.
so maybe a little bit of a spark to build off of, but I'm still not quite sure.
No.
Really, for both teams, they've got work to do.
Absolutely. Speaking of work to do, we have Wolverhampton Wanderers.
They got a lot of work to do.
They got a lot of work to do.
They got Lopetegui, and they got a lot of work.
They got lots of Lopetegui.
Lots of people talking about Lopetegui.
For Wolves, Sa, Collins, Semedo, Kilman, Bueno, Traore, Neves, Moutinho, Podence, Chan, Guedes. For Brighton, Sanchez, Webster, Dunk, Gross, Estupinan, March, McAllister, Lallana, Matoma, Caicedo, and Leo Trossard. Yeah, I thought both sides were kind of, pretty direct. The attack was kind of flowing early. Brighton's best chance was off a long ball, but Solly March's effort blocked by Mr. Collins.
Yes.
Then,
Just a minute later, they get the goal.
yeah,
Great team play served by Matoma. Finds Trossard, passes to Lallana, who has a great shot.
oh yes,
It's Adam Lallana,
yeah.
turning back the years.
How about that?
Wow. Wolves don't waste any time getting the equalizer. This time they hit quick on the counterattack. Guedes
Yes, the
Nice.
through ball.
run down the right-hand side, and he just pushes through any sort of contact from Mitoma and finishes his chance. Really nicely done there from Guedes.
I mean, I like their Guedes signing. They just haven't been able to really utilize him. He's only started like one or 2 games.
Yeah, I agree.
Strange.
Definitely something you want to get going.
Probably rather have him in than Diego Costa, but what do I know?
That's what I was thinking. Why was Diego Costa playing any games? It's stupid. A little bit of suspect defending from Estupinan as he got caught out pretty far out of position as he went for the challenge.
That man can only rinse one guy and one guy only, and that's Captain America, Christian Pulisic.
And wingback Pulisic.
Yeah.
Chance for Brighton as Mitoma plays Trossard through, but he can't get the effort on net.
I have a note of, at that time, Brighton buzzing, and I love Matoma.
We all love Mitoma.
That might be this is officially the new Matoma fan club.
Oh, I've been on Mitoma.
I know, but we
since
didn't. Yeah, but we didn't bring it into like court. This is like a LLC. You guys don't believe us. We have the Dan Byrne fan club.
Yes.
We're adding the Matoma fan club.
Yeah. I knew when I laid eyes on him that first time he got subbed in. I forget who it was against. He played like 8 minutes. It's like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. He just tries to score every time.
Yeah, he just runs. He's constantly sprinting.
He's like, I'm going to get to the end line, and I'm going to cross every time. And it's going to be a good cross. Not like Traore style.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what. We got a cross in here, and it goes off Lewis Dunk's hand. Reviewed. Given as a penalty. Ruben Neves steps up, slots it 2-1.
And if I do say so myself, that was a beautiful pin
It was
from Mr.
nice.
Neves.
It was nice.
Unsavable.
It was nice. Right before halftime, though, it is our guy, Mitoma, with the header. Adam Lallana dimes him up. The low long ball to Mitoma is brought down. And it's a red for Semedo following the goal.
Yeah.
Massive change in the game, to say the least.
Yeah, sure was. Goes into halftime 2-2.
Sure was.
Sure was. Wolves down a man. Brighton putting on the pressure. March. Great tackle to win the ball high up the field, and then rips a shot. Saved at the near post.
Yeah, I thought Saw did a poor job on that one. Kind of just set up his guy to turn over the ball, I felt like.
Yes.
But,
I agree.
credit to Solly March. He's killing it. Career year out of Solly March. Virtually everyone on Brighton.
Yeah. Less than 10 minutes later, Guedes with a looping header that Sanchez has to tip over the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then McAllister forces Saw into a save from a free kick.
I thought Wolves were hanging in better than I thought they would. I thought once they gave up the red, it would be like, it finished like 5-2 or something like that.
Yeah, they did seem to have a little more fight in them in this game. Maybe scoring some goals actually made them feel better about themselves.
Maybe.
But it was Brighton who took the lead in the 83rd minute after Mitoma, like we said, getting to the byline, rolls across to Undav. His touch falls to Gross, whose falling shot gets past Jose Saw for the winner.
How about that?
Brighton take home all 3 points on the road. Not the perfect game from their standpoint.
I thought that Wolves' defense, as well as they had been playing, kind of just fell apart on that last sequence. It was like everyone ran at the ball, and then it was like to the side. Pascal Gross rip.
Yeah. He had a good amount of space in the box there.
This is true. So, yeah, finishes 3-2. Big time win for Brighton. They just keep rolling. As for Wolves, you have to feel like we just got to get a manager in. We got to get to this World Cup break, and then we'll take our chances in the second half of the season.
Yeah, they'll have some time to regroup, implement Lopetegui's style, whatever that may be. Hopefully, no more Diego Costa. Hopefully, with some more Guedes. Mateos, I know he was hurt. I don't know what the status on that is. Hopefully, he'll be back fit for Wolves, and they can mount a second half of the season comeback.
The Great Escape.
The Great Escape.
It has to be on at this point.
Yeah, they've been pretty dire so far this first chunk of the season.
I feel like no one's really talking about how bad they're doing.
No one pays attention. It's kind of like when Bruno Lage was fired, people were like, what? It's like everyone's just falling asleep at the wheel.
Let me tell you who's not asleep at the wheel right now. It's your club, Leicester.
Yuri Tielemans.
Oh, he's doing anything but sleeping. He's volleying. He's volleying in his sleep.
Everton. Leicester. Tell the
Lineups.
lineups.
Pickford, Tarkovsky, Mikolenko, Coleman, Cody, Onana, Iwobi, Gray, McNeil, Calvert-Lewin, Gray. For Leicester, Ward, Justin, Foss, Amarte, Castagna, Barnes, Tielemans, Madison, Dewsbury Hall, Sumare, and Daka.
Leicester had a pretty good start to the game.
Yeah, they did. Leicester was able to hold the ball. They kind of were pretty slow in terms of controlling the possession as the half went on, but they weren't able to, the main thing is they're able to solidify that defense because sometimes that's their main downfall. But they did give up a pretty big chance to Alex Iwobi, who put it just wide of the far post.
Yeah, millimeters wide even. I was surprised by Leicester, the way they came out in this one, going for possession rather than sitting back a bit more like they have in other games and just trying to hit on the counterattack.
Yeah, I mean, they were slow in possession, but then whenever Everton had the ball, it was more, they turned Everton over and then they'd go fast. So it's, I don't know, it's very, very strange. You would think, like, if you're going to hold possession that you would just keep going slow no matter what. But they're like, if we get the ball here, we're just going to go for it.
It's kind of similar to like what Arsenal does. They're a bit
that's
slower in
offensive
possession and then can hit pretty fast on the counter.
That's offensive to your club.
Top of the league.
That's offensive
Top of
to your
the league.
club. You shouldn't say mean things about Arsenal. They're a great team.
James Maddison had a chance, turns and hits his shot just wide. And then a chance for Tarkovsky from a set piece, but Ward makes a nice save. Danny Ward, everybody.
He's
Ladies and
finally
gentlemen.
back.
He's back.
I think he was just like in a coma or something. I don't know what happened. Where was he for the first while? He just wasn't even conscious.
Well, now he's
It's because he's
conscious.
rounding into form for the World Cup, like we were
Yes.
saying last pod.
Wales, Golf, Madrid in that order. James Maddison was really all over in this first half. He looked
James
really
Maddison
sharp.
is clearly lining himself up for a move to Tottenham or Chelsea in the summer.
Sure is. And it's starting with the England call-up that he just received.
Yep.
He had a shot in the 29th minute that he put just wide as Leicester put on the pressure. Daka in the 41st minute pounces on the loose ball and has his shot saved at the near post. And then 4 minutes later, Yuri Tielemans does it again. Hits an absolutely stunning strike from outside the box with a volley. Just a perfect hit.
Yeah, Pickford was looking real good. Making solid saves, no crazy chances, and then he gets this dropped on his head. It's like, you're not saving that.
It's brutal.
You will not be saving that, Jordan Pickford. I'm sorry to tell you. First half thoughts on this one. I thought Tarkovsky did not have the best of games.
Yeah.
I mean, he's looked good this year, but this was not a great one for him.
Yeah, I expected a bit more out of Everton. Expected a bit more possession, a bit more attacking threat. Like we've seen in some previous games this season where we may or may not have said that they were a club of the future.
They still are. And don't you ever forget it.
They still are, yeah.
Halftime, 1-0 Leicester. Second half, Everton attack does in fact exist. Calvert-Lewin threw on net and should score, but he does not.
He saw Danny Ward coming at him.
And he got scared.
He knew.
Wall. Brick wall.
The Welsh wall.
Yeah, pretty much. After that, Everton's fast start to the second half kind of faded, and Leicester established more control. There wasn't much for chances in the second half.
Yeah.
Maddison rips one off the post, and then Barnes has another chance, and it goes in for 2-0, but kind of a lackluster second half.
Yeah,
But that's probably good for Leicester.
Yeah, I thought the first half was pretty entertaining. Second half was just a little more war of attrition, so to say, trying to find some gaps. And eventually Harvey Barnes did find that gap, and Leicester pick up a big 3 points away from home. A solid win for them. Everton, I feel like this was just a pretty lackluster performance. I feel like we have come to expect a little more out of them so far.
I mean, Leicester zapped the energy out of the crowd at Goodison with their play early on, creating the chances and stuff, and then the slow possession, holding the ball, not letting Everton really do much with it. You don't want to get into a running match with Everton, not because they're super fast or anything, but Goodison will feed off that energy, and it just makes it harder to play and stuff. So
Yeah.
you got to make sure you're controlling the ball.
Yeah, and Everton really look like they're struggling in the final third, creating chances, finishing chances.
Someone's missing Cenk Tosin and Solomon Rondon.
Turns out buying Neil Maupay, not the answer.
Yeah, he looked real good this game. He did a lot. He did a lot out there.
So room for improvement for Everton still. Leicester, they're in good form.
Yep. I just had to say you got to beat Wolves 3-0, and look what happens.
And, some of us might say that I'm a visionary and said, Leicester, you may be in 20th place. You're not a 20th place team.
You're not 20th.
I mean, I'm just saying. I did
Sam
say
is a genius.
I did say it.
He's a genius. It
I
has
don't
to be
hit
said.
often, but when I do,
They're doubles.
credit where credit's due. Well
It's
done
true.
to myself.
You did believe in them more than I did.
Yes.
But then when I fully bought in, then they've really reached peak form.
They felt the
They felt the Hank love.
the confidence.
They felt the Hank and Sam love.
Yeah.
To the Sunday games, Chelsea, Arsenal, the lineups, Mendy, Chalobah, Silva, Dave, Cucurella, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, Sterling, Mount, Kai Havertz, Aubameyang for Chelsea, or for Arsenal rather, Ramsdale, White, Gabriel, Saliba, Zinchenko back.
He's back.
Partey, Odegaard, Xhaka, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli.
Well, this one, Arsenal in the first half had some good solid possession,
Yeah.
working the ball around. Chelsea, I was surprised just how lackluster
They were there's not much going on with Chelsea. If you scroll down there, take a look at that lineup. That is a stinky lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, I don't think anyone in this game played well on Chelsea other than Jorginho, I guess. Did all right in midfield, winning the ball, chasing the ball down, distributing. But other than that, I don't think anyone had an even bang average game. Everyone was pretty much shit.
Yeah, I think that's probably the worst I've seen Chelsea play in a long time.
Yeah, I
in
would say
terms of
probably
attack.
since 2015, the last Mourinho
When they
like
were
half
getting
season
relegated.
goose hitting, the goose hitting half year. Yeah, I mean, the first real chance, Ben White with a shoss.
Yep.
He had, I think, not enough people are talking about the impact he had on the game.
Yeah,
I
he
mean, a
had
lot
a
of people are,
couple
but
chances.
I think he was the man of the match. Gabby Jesus fluffs the chance at 29 minutes with a header that goes wide. After the 30th minute, Chelsea's attack looked slightly better for about 5 to 10 minutes, creating a couple chances, one off a corner, then Havertz had a chance, but other than that, there was not much going on. Goes to halftime 0-0. Second half, what even happened? I don't even remember. Gabby Jesus had a chance. Saka forcing a turnover that led to the chance.
Yeah, it was really poor turnover from Loftus-Cheek leading to the corner kick.
Yeah,
The corner kick went pretty much
all the way through
to Saka.
I don't know how more people didn't see this early on in terms of they're just like, oh, Cucurella didn't move. It's like he's being held. What are you talking about? There's contact. I mean, it wasn't like he just didn't move for the ball. Xhaka's too big, too strong for Marc Cucurella.
Yeah. I think there was a little hugging going on. Maybe Cucurella hugging Xhaka, but
no, the full arm bar.
to each their own. Some may say.
Chelsea's can't with corners this year, apparently. Saka had a chance that he skied, and then Chelsea had some solid build-up for about 1 to 2 stretches of the second half, but really the passing just not able to break down Arsenal's defense. And then I thought that this was going to seal it. Odegaard deciding not to chip at the 75th minute. Instead, he kind of dribbled around and then eventually went for a lofted shot, and it was It was not a good one. But Arsenal grabbed the 1-0 win. I got to say, I was not super impressed with Arsenal, only because Chelsea were just so putrid.
Yeah, I think it was a bit disappointing not to create more chances against that Chelsea side, given the amount of possession.
I felt like the way Arsenal had been playing coming into this, they were going to score at least 2, if not 3.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea's defense has been shaky and Arsenal's attack has been relatively clicking.
I think the
Not
change
like
to the
early
back
here.
four did help Chelsea a little bit in terms of a bit more stability at the back and not having just random guys playing wing back. But yeah, I think it was disappointing in Arsenal having to score from a set piece, not being able to score from open play.
Yeah, and you don't even know what to say with Chelsea anymore because it's like you would say, why is Kovacic sitting? But then it's like, what if Kovacic is hurt? Because, I mean, did you see that thing about Ben Chilwell where he was like, I don't know, he had like a wrap on his knee for a couple weeks and they like kept playing him. And then they threw him out there in a Champions League game that didn't really matter and now he's out past the World Cup. It's like,
That's rough.
I mean, you bring it on yourself.
Yeah, suppose so.
I get you don't have depth, but
Yeah, Chelsea, they just look like they don't really have any game plan in terms of attack and how they're going to score.
yeah, I feel like it's less about the game plan. I think the quality's just not there.
Yeah, I think it's probably that as well. That's a key factor. They don't have Chelsea quality players at the moment.
Yeah. It's a whole, we talked about this last pod where it's like a mix of sorry guys and Fat Frank's guys and Tuchel's guys, and soon it'll be a mix of Potter's guys.
Yeah, I mean, you got a washed Aubameyang, Havertz, who hasn't really had much success, out of form Mount, Sterling.
If you're doing, let's just get into it real quick, a Chelsea rebuild of the summer, because it's going to have to happen. First off, I saw a rumor today that it was like Chelsea plan to keep Graham Potter if they don't get top 4. It's like, I would hope so. I don't think they're getting top 4. So why would you hire him if you just wanted a quick patch-up job? That wouldn't make sense. But
Yeah.
and then again, with Todd Bowley, you never know. New owners make crazy decisions all the time.
Yeah, for sure. It's a results-based business.
But, I mean, who's on this team next year that you would like guarantee besides Chilwell, James, Cucurella, and Fofana?
Well,
And maybe Mount?
I would tell you Sterling is going to be, because he's making an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
And no one's going to take that.
Oh, that's what you think.
Yeah, Mount, for sure. Gallagher and Broja.
See, people are penciling in Broge. I wouldn't rule that out. They just sell him to like a mid-table Premier League. I wouldn't rule that out.
Yeah.
Because if he's so important, why the hell is he not playing now? He can't score goals.
It's true.
Very
I'd
confusing.
rather play him than
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang at this
I'd
point.
rather play him. I was surprised that one guy I know that definitely wasn't hurt, and I was surprised didn't play, was Zakaria. He played pretty well in the Champions League.
Yeah.
The match before, you thought he might earn some playing time, go out there and win the ball back, but no. Very strange.
I personally think Conor Gallagher should be starting
He should be.
over Mason Mount.
I mean, at this point, you could try anything. You could talk me into anything. All I know is I don't want to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek ever again. It's finally to the point to where Chelsea fans can't even convince themselves of he's good. They're
Yeah.
finally coming around to the idea of like, okay, maybe he's not good. It's like, yeah, no, he's actually not.
Yeah,
And he hasn't ever been.
He was never good enough. He was just able to hide
In a Champions League winning caliber squad.
in a Champions League caliber squad. Right. At this point, there's no place to hide. It gets exposed. He's not a good player. He's not Chelsea caliber.
No.
Yeah, I think
The season isn't totally lost for Chelsea, but I think top 4 is very distant. I'd probably give it like a 10% chance.
I just don't see a reason in playing these guys that are like
There's no future for them at the club.
Jorginho. I mean, he's already moving on mentally.
Yeah.
You know,
He's a free agent.
He's not going to be with the team next year. You know, you got Silva and Azpilicueta. They're old.
Yeah, there's talks of like Kovacic might want to be sold. What's crazy, you'd think, well, Kovacic is one of their best midfielders and stuff. He is 28.
Yeah.
Are you sure you wouldn't sell him now? He's like peak value and just completely, you know, get a complete fresh start. I don't know. I would think about it. And I love Kovacic.
Yeah,
But
and I think...
Not to mention, if you keep too many of these guys when you're going through a rebuild and stuff, there's a bit of stink on the team still, you know? You can maybe keep like one or two guys. Like, look at Arsenal's rebuild. How many guys are there from the original like team from like maybe 2016 on? Xhaka and Holding
and
Elneny?
Yeah, and the youth guys. But
Yeah, you don't count the youth guys because they weren't integral parts.
yeah, it's like you said. I mean, a lot of it comes down to you just got to bring in new players.
Yeah.
And I think Chelsea, they also have kind of this culture problem of having players that are like checked out.
Yeah, I think a big part of that was last year too. And it's like with that, once they were stuck in third in the Premier League and they got knocked out of the Champions League and they had the whole thing around the club where it's like, who's going to go, who's going to stay? I don't know. It created a whole wishy-wash. I don't know if it's that what created this sense of uncertainty, or if maybe it went even back to like Lukaku, because you thought last year coming in the year they were rolling.
Yeah.
And then Lukaku gives this interview and it's just, I think it goes all the way back to that. That kind of threw everyone for a loop and just off the scent.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I think they should be trying to build around guys like Gallagher and at least try and play Broja instead of Aubameyang. See if he has anything to offer.
obviously they're not going to go full rebuild through the Premier League. Who's a guy you'd like to see Chelsea sign before we move on?
I mean, you mentioned earlier James Maddison. I think he'd be a good signing for Chelsea. Just a little swagger, confidence coming in.
I mean, I don't know if it's even possible, but if he just, I think that Chelsea's best bet would be to punt on the Bellingham sweepstakes that everyone thinks they have a chance in.
Yeah.
When it's probably City or Real Madrid, and Chelsea just goes really hard to make inroads at Declan Rice before a team like United.
Rice would be good.
I think that just makes the most sense.
I think they need to find a striker who can score some goals.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
It's a cursed position.
It is.
Only Diego Costa can save us at this point. Buying him from Wolves. Moving on. Villa. United.
Good evening.
Good evening, Anthony Taylor. To the lineups.
Aston Villa, Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Mings, Digne, Douglas, Luiz, Buendia, Dendonker, Ramsey, Watkins, and Leon Bailey.
Watkins.
For Manchester United, De Gea, Lindelof, Martinez, Dalot, Shaw, Rashford, Eriksson, Casemiro, Donny van de Beek. This guy's alive.
What happened to this rotation? Ten Hag was really taking the piss here. What was he thinking?
Garnacho and Ronaldo. Yeah, when I saw this lineup, I was like,
I would feel bad if someone placed like bets on United like a day or two before this, and they're just like, might as well. We'll throw it out there. We normally beat Villa, and then you like get to look at the lineup and you're like, I just lost my money because Ten Hag thought we could get away with rotation.
Ten Hag thought this was a Europa Conference League game.
To the game, Villa buzzing right away, passing is crisp. But it all starts. Ollie Watkins holds up play, a little passing sequence leads to Ramsey feeding in Mr. Bailey 1-0.
4 goals under 4 different managers.
What a guy.
So that's his only goal he's scoring under Unai Emery.
Yes.
Just know that.
Yep.
Just 4 minutes later, they get a second. Jacob Ramsey fouled a few yards outside the box, and Digne hits a free kick and scores. Very questionable wall.
He scores.
For some reason, the wall was so far back. It was like 20 yards behind the ball.
What are you going to do? Luca Digne has that effect on the ref to where to place the wall and for the wall to actually be lined up against the white line.
Like, if that wall is in a normal position, the ball just hits the wall.
Yeah.
It was baffling, that decision. Like, I don't know.
It's because
how he
Emi
counted it
Martinez
off.
was lining up where Villa people were supposed to stand, bro. Man U just outpossessed and outchanced until about 20 minutes, and even after that, their possession was really no threat. Ronaldo chance on 34, but saved by Martinez. And then we get a goal. Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw.
Wow. Just a rip.
He's heating up for England.
Yeah. Makes it 2-1. Halftime. Villa, fast attack. Classic Emery ball. A lot of getting near the edge of the box and then cutting towards the end line and going for the cutback passes to the top of the box. And you saw that on this third goal as Ramsey just slots it upper 90.
Yeah, nice first-time shot there from Jacob Ramsey. Takes the 3-1 lead. Interesting scuffle
The fight.
between Ronaldo and
The
Mings
fight.
after they get tied up and do a little judo on each
Yes. Awesome. I loved it.
other. A scuffle ensues.
Yes.
And then 4 minutes later, Lisandro Martinez deliberately elbows Leon Bailey.
Yeah, that was cool.
It just
And
elbows
normal.
him in the gut.
Yeah.
Uh,
Saw after the game, Leon Bailey said he couldn't breathe, had the wind knocked out of him.
yeah, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to get elbowed in the gut either.
Man U attack creating some buzz, but Villa was really ready to counter at any point. It felt like too.
Yeah.
So it finishes 3-1. I mean, this game 100% was on Ten Hag. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I get you can't play your best lineup every game, but
What was that?
yeah,
That was a garbage.
you might as
lineup.
well have sat Casemiro. Might as well have sat Martinez.
Yeah, it's like you go halfsies. You play like some starting caliber players, and then you play just super random players. Yeah, I think they lost when the starting 11 was announced before the game even started.
That's what I'm saying.
And then just for Villa to have that fast start before United could even get into the game at all. Before they knew it, before they had a kick of the ball, they were down 2-0.
Yeah. It was very, very goofy. I can't get over the fact that he went like halfsies in terms of starters and bench guys. Because it's like, why is Martial not out there instead of Ronaldo to start and stuff? I don't know. Very, very goofy.
Let's see this bench here. They got
Dubravka, please save us. That's what they said after the free kick goal. They were singing that song.
okay, this bench kind of does suck.
You could have had McTom out there. Could have had Anthony Alonga out there. 2 Swedish guys on your team.
Yeah.
Did you see that Ten Hag wants to sell Maguire in the summer?
Sell him to Chelsea.
Yes.
Let's go.
Please, come on. You know it would work.
Yeah, maybe Tottenham. They need a center back.
They need a lot of things.
They need a lot of things, but they really need a center back.
Oh, we can't even get to that game yet. Moving on, next game. The last game.
Oh, I closed my
Unbelievable.
tab. I thought, hey, we're
And
done.
when I say last game, I mean last game for Mr. Hasenhüttl.
Last game for Mr. Hasenhüttl. Pour one
It
out.
brought you all the way
Where
to the
am I?
bottom. You're at the bottom. Oh, man, this game. It was pretty sad.
Here we go. Southampton. Newcastle.
As a man who loves Newcastle, my true club. To the lineups. Bazunu, Perot, Salisu, Juan Larios, Bella Kochup, Maitland-Niles, Ward-Prowse, Adams, Armstrong, El Nuesi, Theo Walcott. I mean, what? Come on. You should have gave it a second spin, the wheel. Pope, Trippier, Bultman, Cher, Byrne, Willock, Longstaff, Guimaraes, Wilson, Murphy, Almiron.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny that this was the final spin of the wheel.
Oh,
for Mr.
God.
Hans.
Theo Walcott. Your job's on the line, man. Can't put Theo Walcott out there. You have, it's just
Yeah.
terrible. Southampton attack was still pretty frisky early.
They did start off well.
Yeah. Newcastle is just constantly looking for through balls to Callum Wilson. That's in behind. That's like all they were doing. It's a back and forth spells of possession, but Newcastle they looked better when they were going fast, I thought.
Yeah, they took a bit to get into the game, but they did eventually establish themselves more into the game, started getting a bit more possession. Southampton forced into an early substitution as Juan Larios goes down, replaced by Lavia, who's back. But then just a minute later, Newcastle take the lead.
Oh, this
and who
guy.
else? The man who cannot be stopped. 7-7, Miguel Almiron.
Scenes when Chelsea signed him for like 70 mil.
A little give and go down the right-hand side, and he gets past a slipping Maitland-Niles and a nice little finish past Bizzuno to take the lead 1-0.
Longstaff. Yeah, a little diving header chance. That goes high.
Yeah, that was nice.
Your guy, Che McAdams.
Yeah, a little bit of controversy. Penalty shout. Some contact in the back from Bruno G. It looked like it would have been outside the box.
Yeah, I just made a note of he's having a rough go. See turn in the box where Bruno shoulders him off of the ball.
I think it was a foul, but I think it was outside the box. I think it comes down to the positioning again.
Look at this guy, Southampton defender. Sam.
Someone's got to push back on Newcastle.
No.
It sure wasn't Southampton.
No, it was not.
And they had a golden opportunity just before halftime.
Yeah, a classic Southampton tap-in miss.
I mean,
just to send Hans out.
I felt like this had all the hallmarks of a Southampton game.
Yeah, it's really honestly, if it was a game to go out on, this was the game.
They had the questionable lineup, 2 early substitution, and the fast start, where they look good, but nothing came out of it. Just to go down a goal shortly after. And then just before halftime, this great chance. Stu Armstrong putting a ball across the box to the back post on rushing El Yanusi. Open net.
I mean, it just shit his pants. I don't know what else there's to say. Completely missed it.
Off the shin and wide. Oy.
Halftime.
Close your eyes.
Halftime, 1-0 Newcastle. Second half, Chris Wood. That's not real. Chris Wood gets a goal.
Chris Wood's nuts. And it was a nice goal.
Yeah.
Picks
Hans
up the
had
ball.
to be like, what is this?
Picks up the ball in the box, has a nice turn, and just slots it.
Yeah.
Puts it past Bizzuno.
Rapid response again from Newcastle through the counterattack. Great play by Trippier, setting up Joe Willock.
What a ball from Trippier.
Yeah, I might just have to bring this up now. And this is the ultimate jinx and stuff. Are we sure Trippier shouldn't be up for Player of the Year? Are we sure?
I think he's up there.
Are we sure
it's going
he's
to be
not
awful
top?
tough for a defender, but
Are we sure he's not top 5? He brings so much presence to their attack, though, too.
yeah.
If Newcastle get top 4, I think he has to be in the short list of 7 or 8.
Yeah, on this play, I mean, he was like in the position of a midfielder
Yeah.
at that point.
He's mugging off João Cancelo. He says, here's your inverted wing back.
Turned center mid.
Yeah.
Southampton are able to pull one back through a nice individual effort from Romain Perrault.
Yeah, that's also another part of the Southampton experience. Just a really nice goal out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just rips it upper 90. And then right after that, Bruno G with the curler. Final nail in the coffin.
Just has the sauce on Hans one last time.
Bruno G.
And with that, we say farewell to Hans, a.k.a. Ralph.
Okay, where's the 21 guns fire shot? We're just... Yeah. They're lowering him in the casket. Fallen soldier. Fallen, but never forgotten. I loved Mr. Hasenhüttl. He's
Grandpa,
a legend.
were you a hero? Son, I wasn't a hero, but I served with a company of heroes. Heinz Hassenhutl was one of them.
Us making these military jokes on Veterans Day.
Too soon.
Too soon.
At least
I
it's
mean,
not Memorial Day.
Newcastle. I don't know what to
They
tell you,
score a
man.
lot of goals.
They're so good. They are so good. It's unbelievable.
I will say, at the start of the second half, they were a little sloppy. Sven Botman was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I just kept passing to Southampton?
Yeah.
And
Hey, you
I mean,
gotta-
it was kind of funny.
You got to give it to
was a
Dan
good bit.
Byrne. You got to let Dan Byrne do his thing.
Yeah.
Keep Dan Byrne on the ball.
But
Good
Southampton,
things happen.
like you mentioned earlier, at the top of the pod, bringing in the new man already.
Yeah, Nathan Jones.
Nathan Jones from Luton.
Yeah.
Maybe toughen up this squad a bit.
Yeah, he came in. He was a guy who got a few promotions in the lower leagues, goes to Stoke, doesn't do well there, gets sacked, goes to Luton. He's got Luton kind of on the upward trend. I don't know. I'm not opposed to it. I don't think I love it, but he does play a kind of grind style
Yeah.
of football. That's the way Luton play. We'll see what he can do with Southampton if they can just kind of keep shithousing their way to points. I don't know. They don't really have a squad for that. You don't really think of young, fast, athletic squads as teams that can kind of grind their way to it, but maybe he instills those values. If this was if he's taking over like Burnley from Dyche, that'd make more sense, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree completely. I was thinking about that as well. I was like, okay, they have the strategy. They're like, okay, we're going for youth guys. We brought in some youth players from Man City, some positive attacking talent, and then they go just completely opposite end of the spectrum, and they're like, okay, bring in this shithouse manager.
Yeah, the Welsh man.
And the only thing I see is that he's used to operating on a small budget.
Yeah. That's kind of why they did it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they pulled the classic. They wanted to get De Zerbi, and it's like, oh, yeah, you want to get the guy who looks really good? Oh, that's crazy. Maybe you should have got him sooner. Of course you want to get him now that he's hired and looks good.
Be a little more proactive as they kind of...
Yeah. I mean, it would have made sense for the team, don't get me wrong, but...
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where you might doubt it a bit because he finally went to a bigger club than he was at before, and it didn't really go well for him, but Stoke hasn't done anything for 6 years, so
Yeah.
can't judge him too much. We'll see. He came out today and said he has to be the biggest Southampton fan because, quote, his life depends on it. So he's got a lot riding on it, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's potential with this squad.
Oh, there's definitely potential with it. It's just a matter of if this is the right guy to tap into it enough, even.
I'm not sure it is. Given the
I
makeup
quite
of the
frankly
squad.
have no opinion because I have no clue what this guy can do.
Yeah. That's fair.
This is the random box, the magic beans. You were sold the magic beans, Southampton. Are they magical? We will find out.
Yeah, the proof will be in the pudding. He's going to have some time to work with the players over the World Cup break.
Well, he's going to be... Oh, I was going to transition into Liverpool Tottenham, but that's not even the next game. I was going to say Klopp got a touchline ban for the next match, so he's going to not even get to meet Mr. Klopp at his first game, Nathan
Yes.
Jones.
It still applies.
But here we are with West Ham Palace. To the lineup, Sam.
To the lineups for West Ham: Fabianski, Cresswell, Zuma, Kurt the cat kicker.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't you dare.
I went a little James Bond style. Zuma,
Kurt the
Kurt
cat.
the cat kicker, Zuma. Just to keep people on
Fresh.
their toes, so they don't. I don't want people to hear it and just drown it out because they're like, I've heard this a million
he's
times.
the
We need
cat
to emphasize this guy kicks cats. Someone who doesn't kick cats, I think, is
Kit
Craig
Kat.
Dawson. Tilo Kera. Oh, Didi Hallman. Lucas Paqueta. Jared Bowen. Ben Rama. Suchek. Rice. Skamaka. Palace. Guaita. Mitchell. Gehi. Anderson. Klein. Elise. Schlupp. Ducore. Ayu. Eze. And Zaha. Thank God, no more Milivojevic.
Yes.
My eyes
Tuck him away.
couldn't take any more
Tuck him
of
away
that.
forever. Yeah, getting into this one. Palace, good amount of possession early. Kind of slow, but not, they're getting forward. Etse really had the best of the two chances early on. Then West Ham kind of slowly forced their way into the game, but I mean, still that first, I don't know, it's like that first 20 minutes, they just don't really look all that great.
They're asleep at the wheel.
Yeah. Bowen has a half chance that he rips wide, but then eventually they do grab the lead. It's Said Ben-Rama, who's been looking real good for them lately. He's kind of, he finds his form for about 3 to 6 game stretches.
Yeah.
And then something goes wrong. But had a really nice goal. A little dribble move, frees himself up. Upper 90.
Beautiful
Blast.
shot.
Palace getting deep with their possession in and around the box after conceding. A little half chance for Jeffrey Schlupp is saved. Ensuing transition. West Ham are caught out by Etse, who feeds Wilf through. 1-1. Your guy, Mr. Thilo Kehrer.
West Ham, stop trying to play out of the back.
Just hoof it
Just
up.
don't.
Hoof it up field.
If you're gonna be playing this pragmatic style, there's don't try and go half-ass on it and play out of the back.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? David Moyes with his black Umbro hat.
The black Umbro
hat. It
hat.
looked great. 1-1 as the second half begins. Elise and Etse had curled effort chances that went wide. I thought West Ham had chances in the second half, especially off the corners, where they didn't even have amazing routines, but they're just winning headers, and they're just getting on the ball, and they just weren't putting it to use.
Mm-hmm.
Palace really looking to go fast at the end of the game. Almost an own goal by, I believe it was Dawson, kind of parried away the ball, but it went directly at net, and Fabianski cleared it. This was the beginning of the end for West Ham. Long ball play to Antonio. He was in, but then he held it up. And then once all the West Ham players got in the box, he had a terrible cross. And at that point, West Ham players were not able to get back. And Crystal Palace was off to the races on a counterattack. And once you know it, little deflected Elise curler goes in 2-1. Palace take all 3 points on the comeback.
Good away win for Palace. West Ham, they just, it's been rough.
Hurts my eyes sometimes.
It hurts my eyes. I don't look forward to watching these West Ham games.
It should be a lot better.
It should
Especially
be.
when you spend money on guys like Paqueta,
Yeah.
who I haven't seen on the ball enough to be impressed by, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. Not too much to say about that match. It was what it was.
Yeah. I kind of recapped it about as well as I could have.
Yeah. On to the last
I'll
match.
let you just talk about this game because I did not enjoy this game whatsoever. The whole game just pissed me off.
Tottenham versus Liverpool.
Former Champions League final. Remember that? Now you do.
Let's hear this Champions League lineup here. Lloris, Emerson, Royale with cheese, Eric Dyer, Sessegnon, Davis. Apparently that's how you say it. You say it Davis.
I
Not
refuse.
Davies.
I refuse.
Well,
You play good, and then I'll pronounce the name I want
as
the
a
way you do it.
as a Welsh connoisseur, Davis. Langley.
A French connoisseur, too. Oh. Royale with cheese.
Yeah, he's French-Brazilian. Højbjerg, Bentancur, Basuma, Harry Kane, Perisic.
It's a very strange lineup because it's like they had 3 or 4 wingbacks in there.
Yeah, they're
And they just kind of
sticking
had
in
everyone. Yeah, everyone was rotated. Conte's run out. He's just more wingbacks. Throw them out there.
there. When in doubt, bring out more wingbacks. Liverpool, Alisson, Van Dijk, Konate, Robertson, and Alexander-Arnold. Fabinho, Thiago, Firmino, Harvey Elliott, Mo Salah, Darwin Núñez.
Score some goal for Liverpool. They go wild, wild.
And one more time, shout out Pete BOC. Yeah, all right. Let's get into this stupendous game. our guy, Darwin Núñez,
Officially our guy.
memeing it into existence by way of Pete BOC.
Darwin Núñez.
That's what-
He came from
Yeah.
Benfica to the Big Red.
Thank you. I messed it up completely. 3 minutes in, forces Lloris into an early save at the near post. And then in the 11th minute, nice quick build-up from Liverpool leads to Núñez passing to Mo Salah in the box, who turns and shoots to take the lead 1-0.
Yeah, I don't know what that defending was. Salah just kept sprinting, and no one did anything. And then he just drops off, gets the ball at his feet, and shoots it. It was just wild. He just sprinted straight in there. And the announcer was like, "Watch this!" He's just running straight down the field. No one picks him up. It's like, oh, I'll be quite frank, that's not impressive. I don't know what to tell you.
And he loses.
No one, because no one was marking Mo Salah.
A few minutes later, Perisic had a chance hit off the post and out. And then Højbjerg had a follow-up chance easily saved.
That was weird because it went as a header, and then Alisson saved it, went off Perisic, head again, and then off the post.
Yeah. Tottenham had some moments where they looked dangerous and pressured the Liverpool defense, which at times looked shaky, which not too surprising given how this season has gone. But Liverpool were able to double their lead after a huge mistake from Eric Dyer, unable to deal with the long ball.
Well, head on back to the keep on that one.
Yeah, nice assist to Mo Salah. Salah gets in behind and says, "I like my chips with the dip," over Lloris. Just before halftime, Harvey Elliott has a chance pushed away from Hugo Lloris. Goes in halftime 2-0. Second half, Perisic has a chance in front of goal. Hits the bar. Really should score on that one.
Yeah.
Close range chance.
What are you going to do? He's a wingback. Not a striker out there.
Harry Kane had a chance go wide from a set piece. And then Tottenham, they bring on Kulusevski, the return. And within a minute, he makes an impact as he gets an assist.
It's crazy. It's almost like he is their second best player. Yeah, I said it. He's better than Son this year.
100%. Kulusevski finds Kane, who finishes nicely to pull one back, 2-1. Tottenham had a chance in the 89th minute, but no one could get ahead on Kane's flicked-on header. Liverpool take all 3 points.
My only takeaway from this game was that Konate actually looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And
He was solid.
yeah.
Liverpool pick up their first away win of the season.
How about that? At the fortress that is Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
The atmosphere was
Pulsating.
euphoric. No, just kidding. It was
I'd say so.
not like that.
All right, team of the week. And then we got to break down the England squad, so pull that up while I read this off.
Okay.
Team of the week, Danny Ward. How about that? I didn't really know who to go with for goalie, and I think Danny Ward only made 2 saves, but I struggled to find anyone that really had a huge impact on the game this week for goalies. In defense, Digne, Kognate, Ben White, Kieran Trippier, who's just cemented himself in the team of the week every game, or every match week. Tavernier, Willock, Lallana, Tielemans, Etse. A lot of midfield right there. And then for the one attacker, Mo Salah. It's your match week 15 team of the week.
Now, do you want to break down this England squad before we talk about the upcoming fixtures?
No, yeah, we're going to break this down just real quick.
Okay. How do you want to do
Did
this?
you want to... No, let's do prediction. We'll do our predictions breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I like that better.
City, Brentford, Etihad.
I'm all in on Man City on this one. Although they didn't play very well against Fulham.
Yeah, but then Pep comes in screaming at you. I'll say a comfortable 3-0.
Yeah, I think 3-0. Bournemouth versus Everton. Two sides who have just kind of slipped off a bit in the past couple of weeks. Bournemouth looking to actually hold on to a lead. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. At the Vitality. Yeah, I still feel good about Bournemouth. That's what's strange about it. As long as you're able to score goals, I believe in you. But Everton, I don't know.
Can't score goals.
They're kind of strange. I can't give up on them. I don't know why. I still believe in Fat Frank.
Yeah, I mean, they're solid. They're pretty solid in defense and solid in midfield. So
I think I would go the 1-1 draw.
I'm going to say 2-1 Everton.
Liverpool, Southampton, Anfield. No Klopp. Nathan Jones. He'll be out there, though.
Yeah, this is like a training match.
Pretty much.
No
It's not even
Klopp,
a real.
new manager for Southampton.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, anything could really happen. But, it seems like whenever you think Liverpool are back on track, they just completely mess up somehow. But I don't really feel great about Southampton.
Yeah.
I'll go with a 3-1 Liverpool victory.
I'm going to say 2-0 Liverpool.
Okay. Forest, Palace, City Ground. I'd like to think Palace keep rolling.
Yeah.
Forest look a little better lately, a little more frisky in attack. I think they haven't nearly figured out what they can do defensively, but they're kind of, they're getting there. And Palace are always due for a random drop-off. I just don't think it'll be this week fully. I'm going to go with another draw. I'm going to go 1-1.
I'm going to say 2-1 Palace. I think they'll keep rolling.
Tottenham, Leeds, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Can they keep marching on? I'm just worried that Leeds might get caught out a few too many times against Tottenham. We saw it last year at Elland Road. What did it finish, like 4-0 or something like that?
Yeah. I think that is definitely possible, especially if Kulusevski starts. I just feel like Leeds a little too vulnerable at the back.
I'm going to go 4-2 Tottenham.
4-2. Man, that's a good prediction. I like that.
Yeah.
I'll say 3-0 Spurs.
West Ham, Leicester. At the London Stadium.
I'd like to see Leicester come out like they did against Everton. Just kind of start the match out dominating the possession. And I don't think it's too crazy because West Ham often are slow starters.
Yeah, I just wonder if Leicester can at least capitalize and score early because they haven't really. Well, I guess Wolves, they scored kind of early, but their games where they've been winning lately, it's not like they're jumping out right away to fast starts.
Yeah.
But I think it would be kind of crazy not to pick Leicester in this one, which is kind of strange, but that's when Leicester let you down. But I'm still going to go 2-1 Leicester.
I'm going to say 1-1.
Newcastle, Chelsea, St. James Park.
It's about as tough as you can get for Chelsea.
This might be rock bottom for Chelsea right here once Newcastle lay the smacketh down upon them.
Yeah, Newcastle, the most informed team in the league, scoring lots of goals.
Yes. This is going to be a Chelsea beatdown. I don't see any other way around it. I'm going to say 2-0.
Yeah,
3-0 maybe.
I was going to say 2-0 Newcastle.
Yeah.
Comfortable win.
Wolves, Arsenal, at the Molineux. Is this where Arsenal drop points out of nowhere?
It can't be ruled out.
I think it can. Unless the Lopetegui first match
Yeah, that's
special.
true.
Is he actually going to manage this game, or are they just going to wait till after the World Cup?
I think he will be in this one.
Okay. So there might be a bit of a boost. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal then.
I'm going to say 2-0 Arsenal.
Brighton, Villa. Good evening.
Good evening.
Like the 10th time this pod. Against De Zerbi.
Yeah,
This is going to be really interesting.
So far, Aston Villa, when they've had success, it's when they get off to a fast start. Can they do that against
Last time
Brighton?
these two met last year, when it kind of got frisky, it was not the same players, but it was Potter versus Gerrard.
Yes.
Now, De Zerbi versus Unai Emery. Strange times.
The times they are changing.
I would suspect that Villa will still come out playing pretty well. Maybe not as well this one at the Amex. I'll go 2-1 Brighton.
I'm going to say 2-2.
Okay. Fulham Man U, last game before the long break of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Can Fulham keep their form just long enough for one more Craven Cottage spectacular, Sam?
Wouldn't that be nice? Just cap it off. The farewell.
To the first half.
I mean, if United comes out with their Europa Conference League lineup, I don't see
Even
why
with
not.
their attack, I mean, Paulinho will have his hands full because there's a lot of attack for United, but I don't know. We'll see.
And it depends, again, Mitrovic, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Is he fully healthy?
I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
I'm going to say 2-1 United.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, to the England squad.
England squad. Let's roll it.
Pickford, Pope, Ramsdale.
Anything?
Any objections there? That's as clean as it gets. I mean, what else is there?
Yeah, I know people have been saying Henderson, but I think I'd
That's a
pick
bit
all
too
three
much.
over, over Henderson.
Defenders. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Connor Cody, Eric Dyer, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker, and Ben White. Thoughts? And what's the 4 that start? What the hell's on Dyer's head? What is that? What the hell is that? What is that? Is it like a sideburn?
It's like a Band-Aid or something.
What is that? It just looks like a log.
It's weird. You got to imagine it'd be Trippier, Maguire, Stones, and Shaw.
Yeah.
Maybe Kyle Walker ahead of Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Surprising
Tough to say.
Surprising to see Alexander-Arnold, seeing how he's never fit in this squad at all. But I guess
there's
they
no
just have
James,
so many
there's
injuries.
no Chilwell.
Yeah.
You need some semblance of fullback, wingback depth.
I doubt he'll play like
I
a
would
single
suspect
minute.
not. I would suspect not, especially with how poor a form he's been in. That is pretty funny that now he makes the team when he's probably at his lowest point. A lot of people making talks about Connor Cody being in the team.
I love the Connor Cody pick because I see it as like you're up like 1-0 and you need to throw on another center back. Like that's your guy.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would say he's not even the best center back on his team, and it's like, well, I don't know.
I like him.
I like him too. It's just what I'm
And
saying what people are saying.
He's
Okay,
got
bring
the
a different
intangibles.
perspective.
He's a leader. He's a good squad guy.
I mean, when they transition to the back three out of nowhere and win the World Cup that way, what are you gonna do? Connor Cody, player of the tournament.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to midfield. Bellingham, Gallagher, Henderson, Mount, Phillips, Rice. I think the two that people would talk about would be Mount and Phillips, as kind of crazy that they're in there. Especially Phillips' lack of game time, and Mount, he's just been tragic.
Yeah, Phillips has barely played any football this season, out with injuries and stuff.
I
But
get how important he is for England, but that's pretty crazy.
you still have quality players like Bellingham and Declan Rice there. Conor Gallagher a little more attacking.
I love the Bellingham Rice midfield. I mean, I'm of the opinion that Jude Bellingham's a top 10 player in the world. It's not even close up for debate at all. He's amazing if you spend 2 seconds watching him.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really like the midfield. I don't get why they put Madison in attack and not midfield, but whatever.
Yeah, why Gallagher is in midfield but Madison is in.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but let's go down the rest of the team here. Wow, Phil Foden's hair.
Oh, they did my boy James Madison dirty. Look at his hairline. It's kind of receding.
What's wrong with the receding hairline?
Well, nothing, but, as a fellow receding hairline, we don't like when the camera
For sure.
catches it.
Foden, Grealish, Kane, Madison, Rashford, Saka, Sterling, Callum Wilson. Well, I tell you what, they did my long-haired brother and Jackie Grealish well with the showing it off.
It is a nice flow.
It is. What can you say?
I like this attacking squad. They got quite a bit of versatility.
Mm-hmm.
They have some pace. They have some hold-up play. Bringing in Callum Wilson. I like that. Kind
I
of
do
brings
too.
in something different.
Different, yeah. I know a lot of people wanted Tony, but I feel like Tony would be a bit redundant with Kane out there.
Yeah, I think they're pretty similar. And then you just have some good pace. Rashford, Saka, Sterling. And then
Yeah, your guy Raheem Sterling.
I really like James Maddison. He's been one of the most informed players
Yeah, he's killing it right
the
now.
past year and a half.
Yeah, he's a confidence guy if he can keep it up.
Yeah.
So what's your ideal lineup?
Oh man. So we did the back four, and then the midfield two. You probably go Bellingham and Rice in the midfield, and then you go some sort of combination of Saka, Kane, Grealish, and Foden. Maybe
A front four?
having like Foden or Grealish a little more centrally. And
See,
you
I
always
feel
have
like-
Harry Kane dropping
I feel like the
more
best.
centrally.
Yeah, I feel like the best way to kind of line it up, as strange as it sounds, is maybe a 4-2-3-1 where you have Bellingham and Rice in there. Just kind of the back a bit further, but can get up. And then with the three at the front, it'd be Rashford on the left. You'd probably, crazy as it sounds, maybe Madison central, and then on the right, you'd go Saka, and then up top, you go Kane.
Okay.
My one concern would be that central area, because it's like, you
Yeah.
might have to be rotating. And if Rashford isn't doing it, you can get Foden on the left too.
Yeah, I think so.
It's whatever you prefer. But the way Rashford's going right now, I'd probably like him in over Foden.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they line up in that first game.
I know you would prefer it to be just Raz up top by himself.
Raz. I mean, he put a shift in the Euros, and he's definitely a Southgate guy.
He definitely is. There's a few on this team.
So I wouldn't be too surprised to see
Clearly, Harry Maguire is also one
him
of
in
them.
the lineup there. Yeah, I mean, they got a great squad. If anything, I would say maybe a little light in the midfield, given injuries to Phillips and Henderson's.
Who would you say missed out, if anyone missed out? A lot of people are saying Tamori and Tammy Abraham.
Yeah.
See, I don't think you need another defender. I don't think you need another attacker. I think you're right. If there's one place, you'd probably take a defender out or an attacker out and add a midfielder. But it gets to that point where it's like, who would you add?
Yeah, that's pretty tough. I'm not sure at that point.
I mean, besides Harrison Reed.
Harrison Reed, put him on the plane. I mean, he could do a job in this midfield, like if they did like a 4-3-3.
I would say I'd have Mount in there, but that'd be guaranteeing that I know what I'm getting out of Madison, and I don't know that for sure.
Yeah. I could see a potential 4-3-3 if Calvin Phillips had been more fit.
Yeah, and then
actually
you go
playing.
Bellingham, Rice, and then
And Phillips
you just pick
Phillips.
your front three of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, I'd like that because then you can have Phillips like sitting deep and Rice can get forward a little bit more.
What do you think about this? Scroll up to the defenders real quick. Back five of White, Stones, Maguire, Dyer, and Shaw. And you're not going forward whatsoever. You just have those five back there and you're parking the bus.
Park the bus. Let's go.
Eric Dyer in the starting lineup. Anything else you'd like to say about the England squad or about you didn't give a prediction for Matchweek 15. Or 16 rather.
Oh, just a random.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just cap off my thoughts on the England squad. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I guess another area of concern would be that fullback depth with the guys going down. Chilwell,
Yeah.
Reece James.
I mean, not much you can do.
That's a bummer for those guys, especially. But I think they do have some some solid defenders. I mean, Harry Maguire always performs for England. Trippier has been fantastic. Shaw's been coming into form a bit more recently, and Ben White has been really good so far this year.
Yeah.
Whether Southgate would play him at right back, I'm not sure.
Who knows?
But I think he's a great player. I think England is going to win the group pretty easily.
You commie.
A lot of people are just like
You
down
commie.
on England for some reason, but I guess that's kind of the English way. Everyone hates the team always.
Not the English people.
Yes, they hate the team.
I
Always.
disagree.
Well, I know they don't want Southgate.
Yeah. A lot of people want him sacked, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll be doing a preview of the World Cup eventually.
Yeah, sometime.
Yeah, we'll have a little recap of last week. Well, what will be last week after this set of games. And then after that, we'll end up putting out a podcast, a preview of the World Cup.
Yeah. Here's my wacky and wild, zany prediction.
Anthony Gordon Brace.
Anthony Gordon, man, he's kind of had a down year.
Yeah, he should have went to Chelsea. Oh, wait, he tried. Him
Wouldn't
and
that have been something?
Him and only himself tried.
I'm going to say that I'm going to say goal for Emi Buendia.
Wow.
Brighton.
Wowzers.
Good evening. And on that note,
Good evening.
thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe, comment, listen on YouTube, Spotify, wherever. We're here for you. And we'll be back next week. Bye.